It's the Uprising.
Welcome back to the Uprising. I'm Pac, and this is Adam Lumley. What's going on?
Not much, man. We're gonna have a pretty short show. Just gonna talk about a couple of things, recapping the week. This progressive win in the primaries. Definitely a great week if you're on the progressive left. So we're gonna get into it. Cori Bush, she had a major upset of the incumbent William Lacey Clay. Him and his family have been holding that seat for 50 years. This is in Missouri's first district, St. Louis area, Ferguson area. Cori Bush, she ran last time and she got smoked last time, but she won this one. She won by 3 points, a little over 4,000 votes, a little under 4,000 votes, and that happens in these primaries. They're really close usually, and a major upset. A dynasty of in the Democratic Party in St. Louis for 50 years. That's a major victory. A lot of people didn't think she was going to win. I actually thought she was going to win. When the numbers first came out, it was kind of like 60-30 with Representative Clay winning. I was like, oh crap. But those are early numbers, and later on tonight, it looked a lot better for Miss Bush, and she ended up winning. And it's a safe blue district, so she's likely going to win, and she's going to be representing the first district of Missouri in Congress. So she was the first Justice Democrat, and she was a Justice Democrat this go around as well. And Justice Democrats have been really knocking the ball out of the park. They've gotten a lot of people elected, and the people that ran as incumbents are getting reelected as well. So they're Justice Democrats are definitely here to stay. Started by Cenk Uygur, Kyle Kalinske, and members of Bernie's 2016 campaign started that. And now they have new leadership there, and their new leader is Alexandria Rojas, I believe her name is. And she's great, and Justice Democrats are doing a really good job. So I'm proud of Cori Bush. She had the coronavirus, and she had to be hospitalized twice during this campaign. So she's gone through a lot in her life. She was homeless. She's a nurse. She has a couple of kids. So she was a Ferguson activist, one of the big ones, and Ferguson protest in 2014. So she's definitely an activist, and she's getting elected, and she's definitely going to get some things done, I think, for the people of St. Louis and Congress. How do you feel about this, Pac?
I think it is a powerful step forward for progressives, definitely. I mean, she's proof that if you go up against a lot of money by just being an activist and being out there with the people, boots on the ground. And like you said, you know, even after her being sick and all of that, and having to quarantine herself, and you know, to come out on top, it's just an awesome win. You know, even as close as it was, hey, a win is a win, and we will take it. And I know she's gonna do awesome things once she gets to Washington. I mean, you know, the original Justice Democrat making it is a big deal, and I think it also it lets everybody else, all the other progressives that are running, know that it can be done. You know.
Yeah, it definitely gives a lot of hope. It gives me a lot of hope that she won, and some other progressives won as well. She had to leave. She won her re-election in Michigan. She trounced the corporatist Democrat that was running against her in the primary. Let me go to that right quick. Let's see here. Sorry about that. I was nervous about her. They're saying that the corporate Democrat raised a lot of money, so I was a little nervous. Tlaib definitely went after Representative Tlaib went after Hillary Clinton. No, corporatists don't like that. So I was a little nervous, but she absolutely annihilated their opponent, Brenda Jones, percentage wise, 66, I guess 33%. So that's a trouncing. And she's going to get reelected, and that's just another member of the squad. And this adding to the squad with Bush and hopefully Kara Eastman in Nebraska could win. The lady that's running in the third district in Illinois is a progressive and just a Democrat as well. Hopefully, we can add to the squad. The squad can get a lot bigger. Jamal Bowman won his primary, so I'm really happy that more progressives are getting elected or reelected. So, you have anything to say about Tlaib reelection?
Oh, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I'm ready. I really would like I would like more candidates that run here in Oklahoma to be Justice Democrats. I don't know if I mean, obviously they know about them and they know about you know the policies and everything, all the progressive policies that come with it. Um, there's a few that are running right now that I would be interested to sit down and ask them if their policies align with the Justice Democrats, and if they do, then why not become one? I know it's just not as easy as all of that, you know.
Yeah, it's Kojo. I think he's really close to being. He would qualify for a Justice Democrats. They're. I think they learned from their mistakes in 2018. They had a ton of candidates in 2018. They endorsed a lot of people, and they went about 40%, which for an organization that's brand new is really good, despite what the corporates wanted to say about that. Now they're like, if Representative Elmore gets reelected and Alex Morrison, not Michigan, Massachusetts gets elected, they're going to be about 80%. So that's crazy. That's really amazing. They're going to be really close to pretty much everyone that they ran won. So if they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. Thinking about Kojo, he is a strong progressive, but kind of thing about he kind of shies away from it a little bit publicly. Now his website, he has a lot of progressive stuff, but when he especially after my interview with him, he kind of didn't necessarily want to distance himself from being a progressive, but he's not being super outward about it. Like he did an interview recently, and the interviewer asked him about AOC, and he didn't necessarily trash AOC, but he kind of said, "I'm a different Democrat from AOC because they're in a different area," which is true. And that's the other thing. Just as Democrats kind of have a really strong requirements to from them
Mm-hmm.
to adore. So I think I like the hoot the Harler thing that Charles Booker started. He kind of an action committee that's like Bernie has. I think that's going to be something that people in more southern states or more heavily red states are probably going to want to focus on, because Charles Booker is a bit different from just the Democrats. He probably wouldn't have got endorsed as well, because
Yeah.
they kind of have a certain criteria
Yeah.
for them to endorse. So that's the other thing about it, though. That's the establishment has 1,000 different PACs and committees and all those things, and we have like 5 major ones.
Right. Yeah. So
So
maybe we
so it's
need to have our own here in Oklahoma.
yeah, we definitely need to do that. I think Kojo will fit. I don't know if Kojo will fit as well as Daniela. She's running for second Oklahoma. I interviewed her as well. She's even more in that hood to Harler criteria in my eyes.
Right.
So I'm hoping the best for Kojo. I'm hoping the best for Daniela. I'm gonna try to get them both back on the show before they're the general. So they are both strong progressive. I do really like both of them. How you feel about both of those candidates, and how
Oh
do you
yeah,
feel?
I think that I think their platforms are awesome. I think that as far as getting things done for working class people, I think they're the best bet, definitely. I mean, we have other people that are running in other districts that are progressive as well, and I wish we had time to interview them all and give them a platform, because a lot of people won't go to the website, but they'll see all your little Facebook videos, Instagram videos, they'll see all of your ads. That's why, to me, it's so important to be clear where you stand, because they might only see one of your ads and never go to your website and see your platform. But I understand we're in a different kind of state down here, and maybe some candidates would feel like if I was that open about everything every time the camera was on, I would lose people would lose, I would lose votes, because maybe the people that are voting for me wouldn't agree with everything.
Yeah,
But I think that they're definitely the best bets. You know, the mayor, I'm still kind of like up in the air about the mayor, because every time I see a candidate and I think this might be promising, something happens that make me say, "Oh, well, maybe not."
well, let's not beat around the bush. We were talking about Greg Robinson. He's running the Democratic mayor um, election.
Right.
Now, I haven't interviewed Greg, so I don't know this for sure, but I think he leans more towards the corporate side. But that's the other thing. When we have a Republican kind of centrist as our current mayor, and we have more right wing extremists on the Republican side, you kind of have to do what you can, honestly.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd rather have a progressive, or I'd rather have our Democratic nominees be progressive. You got to be realistic,
Right.
unfortunately.
And sometimes you got to
Um,
take what they give you,
yeah.
unfortunately.
Um, so recently, Beto O'Rourke, he was he endorsed Greg, and he's been campaigning a little bit for Greg, which in some sense worries me and frustrates me. In other sense, I'm actually really happy that's happening, because that's kind of like I just said. When it comes to our progressive ideology and our beliefs, it frustrates the crap out of me, Beto O'Rourke. But when it comes to you got a poison, or you got some poison or a handgun, what would you rather have? So, you know, Beto O'Rourke really frustrates the crap out of me. He ran as progressive when he ran against Ted Cruz in the Senate, but
Yeah.
when he ran for president, he ran as a corporatist. So every time I see his face, he frustrates the crap out of me.
It's hard to know where you stand if you keep flip-flopping depending on where you're at.
Yeah. So
No consistency with Beto. That's why when I
yeah,
saw that, I was like, "Oh, now I don't know again." It's just one of those things. It's like, I understand people are willing to endorse you when you're a candidate, but who you allow to endorse you says a lot about you, your campaign, and everything
yeah,
else.
yeah,
So I would just say, if it was me running for mayor, I would be a little more critical of the people I allowed to endorse me. That way, there's no, you know, nobody's taking it the wrong way. You know what I mean? It should be
yeah,
very clear.
yeah. Yeah, it's you gotta do what you gotta do. Unfortunately, I uh, I am really conflicted when it comes to wanting to get Democrats elected, but them pretty much being Republicans.
Right. Yeah. It's
And given our state, especially our state, more than really most states, you kind of have to get what you can get. If Greg got elected, hopefully he can do a lot of great things, which I think he would. But I don't think he would go as far as Pac and I and other progressives would want him, probably. But maybe not. I don't know. I haven't interviewed him, and he's better than anyone else.
Right.
He's great, better than an incumbent. Incumbent's a corporate Republican, has no backbone because he flip flops and tries to please everyone, which you can't do. And other Republicans in our mayoral race is other guy I've talked to a little bit. He's kind of either he said that Michael Bloomberg is a socialist, which is if you're
Where
on
has
the
he got
left,
that information?
if he's on the left, you know that that's absolutely laughably ridiculous. Either he doesn't understand politics well enough to know that Bloomberg's not a socialist, which he shouldn't be a mayor, or he's just pandering to doofuses that don't know anything about politics, which more than likely the case, which he's lying to people, which I don't like, obviously. Kind of
Yeah.
like a kind of like a Nina Turner said, would you rather have a half a plate of shit or a full plate of shit?
Right.
When it came to Joe Biden. So
Either way, you're eating shit.
yeah, so that's kind of how I feel about when it comes to super red districts and states when it comes to corporatist Democrats comparable to progressive Democrats.
Yeah.
And not necessarily even that. I mean, if a Republican's a good person and he just has certain conservative ideology, but he cares about people and wants to do things, I consider voting for him. He's not a abhorrently terrible person. I'll think about it, but I'd rather not have to vote for a Republican. Like, if that's disgraceful if a Republican is better than your Democratic nominee.
Yeah.
So you need
Yeah.
if that's the case, you need a new Democratic nominee in my eyes. So speaking of uh, progressive winning in red districts in red states, so in Tennessee they had their primary on Thursday, which is kind of weird, I have to admit, but they did it anyway, and they had their senatorial primary, and Marquita Bradshaw. I don't even know how to fully say her name because I didn't even know who she was till she won yesterday or today, last night actually. She won Democratic nomination for Senate. She's a strong progressive that's running on a climate Green New Deal type climate change platform, and she's a strong progressive. She only raised $8,000 in the first quarter, and she didn't raise enough in the second quarter to even really report anything. There's reports that she wanted to raise like $10,000, and the corporatist DCC Democratic establishment pick, he raised like $2 million, and he got third place. Another progressive, let's see here, Robin Kilbrod, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Uh, she got second, and she was a progressive as well. So that gives me a lot of hope. She's gonna Miss Bradshaw's gonna get a lot of attention. I think she's already getting some attention. They featured her on the Hill Rising with Crystal and Zager, and some other progressives talked about her as well. So I think I don't know if she's gonna win. Who knows? I mean, she won this without any money, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I cannot discount that at all because she won without any money, which is insane to me. So in this circumstance, not like the Emu graph or other things, like other scenarios, I can't completely discount her winning this senatorial race in Tennessee because she got 100,000 votes and won the primary without any money. So who knows?
Yeah. Hopefully she'll get now that they've seen what she could do without money. maybe
Yeah,
she'll get a lot more of support. You know.
yeah. Hopefully she does. She's gained some. She gained about a good 15,000 subscribers last time I checked on Twitter today, and she gained some on Instagram as well. Excuse me. So I definitely think she's going to get a lot more funding, which in turn, she has a better opportunity to win, and her winning that Senate primary is absolutely insane in my eyes. Usually, especially lower profile races, usually the person with the most money wins because they're able to hire the best consultants, able to buy the most literature to pass out, buy more signs, buy more ads, and they still lost. I mean, I think them splitting the vote a little bit helps a lot, but a
Yeah.
win's a win. I don't.
Yeah.
You win by 1 point in football, you win by 20 points in football. The win's a win, so who
Yep.
cares? And that's crazy. That's like I was telling back off camera. That's the craziest thing I've heard of in politics since I've been paying attention, strongly
Yeah.
paying attention to politics since 2015. So that in 5 years I've been really paying attention to politics. That's the craziest thing I've seen. What about you, Pat?
Yeah. I
Craziest
mean,
thing you've seen?
it is definitely like a true underdog story. Like
Yeah.
nobody expects it, and then it happens. But then what happens after that? Like it's so encouraging too to see somebody that can't comes in with nothing but policies for people and can win on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I really just enjoy. I enjoy all these kind of sucker punches to the establishment. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
because just when they think, oh, we'll throw 10, 20, 30 million at that and it won't be a problem. Well, yeah, you're wasting your
Yeah.
money.
They did. They wasted their money.
And so,
And
to me, not only is the win good, but it's also amusing.
yeah, speaking of the establishment wasting money, Kansas had their senatorial primary, and Chris Kobach, he was a Republican monster that ran for governor last cycle. He lost, and he was running for Senate, and he lost again. Now the establishment gave about $5 million to his campaign because they wanted him to win because he was a weaker candidate because he's a monster. But he lost, so that's $5 million the establishment lost that they could have gave to someone else. Like for instance, the person running in Senate against Lindsey Graham, he could have used that money. He's tied right now with them. Now the guy that's running against, he's a centrist, but Lindsey Graham's a monster as well. So a Republican light is better than a monster Republican.
Right.
Kind of like our previous conversation. So we're going to talk about oh, excuse me. We're going to talk briefly. We're going to talk about the vice president pick that we think's going to be the pick and how we feel about that. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up after that. Right before we go to that, like we were saying, this purpose of this show, and we're still working on exactly how we want to be this show, but the biggest thing about the show is Pack and I talking about recapping politics and uh okay, that was weird. Anyway, recapping politics and putting progressives and giving them a platform. Especially like situations like Kojo that no one's talking about them. Like outside of our little area in Tulsa and Oklahoma,
Yeah.
no one's talking about Kojo. No one knows who he is.
No.
Or Danielle even more so. And little races like Landry Miller's race in city council, like this is what we're trying to do. One of the big things we're trying to do is give progressives a platform. And we need your help. We need more
Yeah.
subscribers. We're going to set up a Patreon page and we need help with that as well. So definitely like and subscribe as much as you
Share.
can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, share as well. We're trying to get to 50 subscribers, or pretty close, and we're just a couple of subscribers away from getting 50. We're at 41 right now. So definitely like and subscribe if you like what we're saying. We really appreciate that.
For sure.
All right, our last little topic we're going to talk about is so Joe Biden hasn't picked his VP yet. It's mid-August, which is ridiculous. But what I'm hearing is it's going to be between Susan Rice or Kamala Harris.
Oh
So
man.
I think the power players and the establishment wants Joe Biden to pick Kamala Harris. I personally want him to pick Kamala Harris. If it's between him and Susan Rice,
Yeah.
Kamala Harris is the pick.
Yeah.
I don't really like Kamala Harris a whole lot. She could have prosecuted Steve Mnuchin when she had a chance. He was ripping people off during the mortgage crisis, and she didn't, and she has a bad record when it comes to marijuana convictions and other things. So if you watch the primaries, you know Kamala Harris is. But she's a lot better than Susan Rice. Susan Rice was a part of Obama's administration. She handled foreign affairs. She's one of the big reasons we got into Libya and overthrow Gaddafi, and that's a complete disaster Libya is right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of the big reasons why Syria happened. She's one of the big reasons the whole Benghazi thing happened.
Right.
So if she is the VP, and she will be president if she's the VP, we're going to hear about Benghazi for 4 years. We're going to hear about all the other things for 4 years.
Right.
And more likely, we're going to get into more nonsense in the Middle East and other areas that we need to not be doing. So
Right.
no, I do not want Susan Rice, the VP. She has no political experience outside of being in foreign affairs things. She never ran for office.
Right.
So no, she's not my pick. I do think Joe Biden's probably going to pick her because they have familiarity.
Right.
And I think Joe Biden doesn't really like Kamala Harris because he went after her. So
Right. But let
I don't
her
know.
tell it. It was just it's a debate.
Yeah. So how do
So,
you feel about it, Pac?
oh my gosh. I feel like again, a full plate of shit or a half plate of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um Kamal Harris, I would definitely rather it be her than Susan Rice. I would argue that there are 100 better VP picks than either one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at least Kamala Harris sticks to her guns too, except for the debate thing with Joe Biden. But I mean, as far as the things that she's done, she's been like, okay, I've done that, and you know right where she stands. Where
Mm-hmm.
Susan Rice, not so much. She's more of a fence rider when you hear her talking, but
Mm-hmm.
you see the stuff that she's been a part of, and they might pick her just because you know they like war just as much as the Republicans do. I
Yeah.
mean, it's war is a big business, and so if
Yeah.
they bring her in, and then she starts doing the foreign affair things again, we might get something worse than Benghazi,
Yeah.
where Kamala Harris, with everything that's going on, she might play it a little more safe as a VP.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think I would rather hear Kamala Harris speaking for Joe Biden than I would Susan Rice for sure. Um,
Yeah.
the main thing is I know that I know Joe Biden is excited to see who he's going to pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just
Yeah.
I've watched so many videos over the last week of him. I mean, from the comment about African American and Hispanics that was just ridiculous to calling people junkies or whatever he was saying.
Yeah.
It's like just put him away. He needs to hurry up and pick a VP because then he could have them speaking and he could just stay at home,
Yeah.
and that might help. All he's got to do is be quiet. All right, we had a little technical difficulties, but we're back. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Where were we at?
Yeah, you're talking about old Joe Biden and being an idiot and saying the things about
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He just needs to stay. Whoever he's gonna pick for his VP, he needs to pick it and let them do the speaking for him. And he needs to stay in his basement until it's time to debate, or or it's time to be elected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, it just feels like every time he's in the interview, it's always going to be something. Now, in comparison to Trump, it's nothing. But when this is all you've got, when your
Yeah.
star player's been kicked off the team and they're putting the guy who's been sitting on the bench for 20 years, they put him in and give him the ball, and he's like, and they're playing basketball, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a touchdown. Like,
What?
but to be honest, both of those choices suck. But it is what it is, and you got to do what you have to get Trump out, and I understand that. And so, I out of those two, I hope he picks Harris. But with Rice being, with the Obama thing and him always throwing that up, I was with Obama, corn pops.
Yeah.
With him always throwing that up, it seems like she would be more likely than Harris, and Harris backpedaling on what she said to him with the debate was probably like, well, maybe he'll pick me if I backpedal. Which I hate so much that politicians do that. Like, stand your ground, man. Because every time you fold for something, people lose faith in you. It happened with Senator Warren when she got in there, fighting with Bernie over some bullshit. Everybody lost faith in her. So
yeah, Senator completely gave up all her supposed beliefs. So yeah, Senator Warren, that's a can of worms I don't want to kick right now. That still hurts. But with Kamala Harris, she waffled on Medicare for all as well, which pretty much everyone did other than Bernie. So, what we're gonna do? One of the things I'm thinking of is who's gonna be easier to primary when it's 2024. Susan Rice or Kamala Harris or whoever else.
Sorry, you cut out there.
Because talking, what did you not hear?
It's like stuttering. More technical difficulties.
Yeah. I'm at my parents' house right now, hanging out with them tonight, but not in my apartment. I was saying that 2024, who's going to be easier to primary in Democratic race? Kamala Harris or Susan Rice or someone else Joe Biden picks? Because it's not going to be Joe Biden. He's not lasting the 4 years. No way that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's even going to last a year. So I don't know. We'll see. And when he does finally pick, we'll definitely talk about the ramifications of that and how much we hate it. Because we're going to hate it regardless.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be critical.
Yeah. That's pretty much all I got to say. A little shorter episode.
Hey, it's fine.
To get this out.
It's just more content, and we have these discussions anyway, so we might as well put them on our platform,
Yeah.
And then
we try to do this once a week, so usually we do it Thursdays, but we had one Wednesday, and kind of how that works.
Yep.
So,
but we appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, hit that little bell so every time we upload a new video, you'll get a notification. And that helps us know how many people are interacting. We're really close to 50 subscribers right now, but to be honest, like by the end of this year, I want to have at least 1,000. So we're on that road.
Yeah.
So please help us do
Yeah.
that. You guys help us stay independent, and we'll keep doing this.
All right.
All right. Have a good one.
It's the Uprising.